3, 2, 1.
This was something that, again, was inspired by Spanish architecture. I chose these really adorable brass fixtures that you'll see incorporated throughout my build. It was all about just creating something that exceeded what I knew to be possible. Hey guys, my name is Abbe Miner. Come check out my van. Right when you open up the slider door, you have this money shot right here. It was really important to me to create something that grabs your attention right when you open the door. That just creates so many unique conversations when you're out and about. Everything you see is handcrafted, and I wanted to create something that felt flowy and organic, where all of the elements sort of molded into each other. I love the idea of putting the seating area right in front of the slider door. I feel like this is where I spend the most time in a van, so I wanted the ability to look out at the pretty view wherever I'm parked. This lagoon table right here makes the perfect workstation, and you can also sit across from someone while you're having dinner. But what you might not see is that this area does not only sit 2, it actually sits 4. Both of these bench tops are slatted, so they actually pull out on 250-pound drawer slides, and then additional cushions fill the space, so you can sit 4 friends right here and hang out, play a game, have dinner. I really wanted to maximize space in this area, and I thought it'd be a cool idea to create a second bed if you want one. So if you pull out the benches and pop this table off, this area actually turns into a second bed for a guest, a friend, a kid. My goal with this kitchen, honestly, was to create something that was funky and unique that I haven't seen before. The way I came up with this L shape actually was my desire for a staircase. It actually turned out to be super ergonomic. You sort of have everything right here. This was one of my more bold moves in the kitchen space, and it was the decision to run the Moroccan plaster down into the sink. I did this to make the space feel natural. It almost feels like a stone shrine to me when I'm standing here. Right here is one of the cutest little trinkets I have in this whole van, and that is my convection oven, air fryer, toaster, and I wanted to place this centrally so that your eyes just go straight to it. It just has the coolest color scheme, and I actually based a lot of the colors in this van around this toaster. One of the features I have in this van that I have never had in the past is air conditioning. I decided to go with the Cruise and Comfort because it's just the best of the best, and I was going all out with this thing, so why not? This was something that, again, was inspired by Spanish architecture. My wave going through my ceiling. It was something that when I thought of it, it terrified me, but I knew I had to try and do it. I used bendy ply to create this curve that blends seamlessly into the wall. And on this wall, I did Roman clay. Then on the subsurface right here, I did Moroccan plaster. Moroccan plaster is something that I've never seen used in a van before. Again, it scared me, but I knew it would just be crazy if I could pull it off, and just adds to the vibe of the space in a way that you can't see. You kind of have to feel. My decision to go with a yellow van and use that for social media ended up paying off because I was able to get a lot of sponsorships with this van and companies that wanted their parts incorporated, which helped me save a lot of money in the end. With that said, I still went all out with this thing. I didn't have a budget. I didn't care if it ran me completely dry and brought me down to 0. So in the end, I ended up spending about $120,000 to $140,000. It was all about just creating something that exceeded what I knew to be possible. So once this thing was done, I threw it up online with a price tag, and I found somebody seriously interested in buying it. They were ready to put down a deposit, bill of sale. We were close. I was very, very close to selling this. And as I sat down to fill out the paperwork, I just couldn't do it. And that was a turning point for me. I realized how much this van meant to me, and I decided I want to keep it. What I'm standing in right now is probably my favorite feature of the whole van, my amazing shower. I went all out with this one, incorporating the handmade Spanish tile, as well as the stone pebbles that you'll see throughout the build. I chose these really adorable brass fixtures that you'll see incorporated throughout my build. I just love it as an accent. I think it's unique, and it just brought the shower to life. I also incorporated these half rounds on the ceiling throughout, and I just love how it makes it feel so homey. This shower has hot and cold water. I run the hot water on a timer switch, so it will never drain your battery. And the holding capacity of the freshwater tank is 40 gallons, so you can take a pretty nice, long, luxurious shower in here. This is a Laveo dry flush toilet. It's completely self-contained, and you basically flush the waste into a little bag that seals off. I like it because it's fully self-contained. The flusher runs on a battery, so I can actually pick the toilet up and move it out of the shower if I want more space in here. Another perk of having a stand-up fixed shower is that I can add a closet right next to it, and it just blends right into the space. This closet is awesome for storing clothes mostly, but you can also use it as an extension of the kitchen. My favorite part about it, of course, is these little handles right here, and I just love what they add to the atmosphere. I think, again, it ties in all of the other wood accents. This is my staircase. I think the platform bed in the back is just the way to go. It's easy, you don't have to set it up at night, and there's tons of storage underneath. I knew I wanted to do a staircase to make that transition from bed to floor a little bit easier. With that said, I knew that it would take up a lot of space, and I wanted to maximize that space. So I incorporated storage into each of the steps. I have this top right here. This one flips up, and the bottom one pulls out into the aisle. I grew up in my family's campground in Stafford, Connecticut, and I was at that campground nearly every day growing up. My mom was the manager and kind of kept things in check, and my dad was a jack of all trades, head utility man. As I grew up, I realized that the campground and all of the old cabins and trailers were a great blank canvas for me to sort of get my hands dirty and create unique spaces. That was what gave me the confidence when I was in college to take the plunge and build my first Sprinter van. While I was in college, I traveled to 46 out of 50 states, and it just completely opened my eyes to what was out there in the world, having come from a small town. Welcome to my bedroom, a short queen-size bed that sits east to west. Personally, I've been loving this setup because I have these two opening windows over here, and when it comes time to sleep, I crack both of them, and the cross breeze is just like heaven. You also may notice that above me right here is extremely bright, and that is because I have a skylight up there. So I decided to make my own skylight, which is a piece of tempered glass that sits perfectly in the hole that was left by the air conditioning. Back here, I have a continuation of the front cabinets, also in this L shape. I feel like when you have uppers on both sides, it makes it feel congested. But this is very airy and breathable. I am not big on TV, but I think it's cool to have something that you can watch movies on in a van. And then my projector sits right here. It's an XGEMI projector, and it projects whatever you want right onto that screen. Welcome to my garage. The entire area underneath my bed is storage space, as well as a utility area. On the other side, I have my entire electrical system, which consists of 600 amp hours of lithium batteries, 3000 watt Victron multi-plus inverter. I also have a 50 amp alternator charger and a charge controller that monitors the 400 watts of solar that I have mounted on my roof. My words of advice for anyone trying to get into van building or van living: if there's a will, there's a way. Unlike living a conventional life where you have a job and a stable place to live, you're going to have a lot more freedom with this lifestyle, and that comes with fear. Even just the building process of this was terrifying, but I told myself, someday, 6 months from now, it will be done. I will have pulled it off. And just constantly reinforcing that mindset of whatever I set my mind to, I can do. It will be okay in the end. I can pull anything off. That'll really help you take a leap of faith into any of your dreams. If you want to see more of my journey, you can follow my Instagram at a.bbe or my TikTok, Abbe Miner. I hope to see you guys on the road. Just keep your eyes open. This thing is pretty hard to miss.